Yo, people already know Mr. I Am Next, and we're here, the I Am Next show. And I'm with the boy, my guy, Young Fume. Young Fume, what are you saying? How are you, man?
I'm blessed, bro. We been here. Obviously, we been in the building a couple hours now, so
Yeah. Had a chance to chat, everything.
a bit baked right now. You get it, but we're here.
No, we're here, man. Obviously, for people who don't know, this is Young Fume, amazing, talented artist from London, South London. And yeah, if you know Young Fume, you know. If you don't, you're gonna find out a lot about him. Hear a lot of references to music, so check that out. And yeah, Young Fume, for the people who don't know who's Young Fume, let them know.
What, on a deeper level or just a general level?
General level and deeper, whatever.
For the people that don't know, Young Fume, to summarize it, I would say I'm a South London artist, influenced by trap melodic, but I'm versatile. Obviously, we built waves across the UK, and we built a global audience.
I would say that's spot on. And I've known Young Fume actually when I was growing up. So when I was growing up, I've grown up listening to Young Fume. And the first time we actually like connected was the build up to your headline show.
That was even crazy because was it through the venue, Cam?
Yeah, it was. So it was through Cameo, through Cam, who used to look
Yeah,
after
but I'm
Cameo.
thinking, how did that even?
Do you know what it is? I saw you do a show, and it was all over the internet. Some white room, and it was going off. I think
It was old school.
yeah,
bro.
old school video. And I was like, nah, I need to link Young Fume. He's trying to do shows, and I was trying to get through to you. And then this guy who was running Old Blue Larson Cameo,
Yeah.
which are venues in London, I shouted him. I was doing work with him, and I was like, I'm trying to connect with Young Fume. He's like, oh, he reached out to me to do a show at the venue. Do you want to work on it? I'm like, yeah, let's make it happen. And then through there, I obviously connected with you. We did them press shots in Clapham Common.
Yeah.
And then
That was mad.
do you get what I'm saying? And then from there, we just built up towards that headline show, and that's like 2017.
Yeah, bro. So and you know what's crazy to me, because time flies, bro. I feel like 2017 doesn't feel like it
Was that far away?
I don't feel like that.
It feels like it was like
3 years ago.
exactly.
But maybe that's because of the pandemic. You know what I mean?
I would say yes, but I feel like also that time it was a big moment. And as well as like we were so early on in the music scene. Like the scene wasn't what it was right now, where people were just doing headline shows for fun. It was like really special if your artist did a headline show. It was really a moment if you could sell out a venue. It was that's how things were. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, to get 1 million views is very special. To get 500K of those moments were very special. To even be able to do a show, even to be booked for a show was a big deal. Where now it's like
things have changed, isn't it?
You get what I'm saying?
Elevated now. And I also feel like the pandemic, not to say the pandemic, but it's like life changed. So you see, even the world before that,
Yeah.
you couldn't even fathom a pandemic. So man were outside. It was like,
yeah, no one would have fathomed that they're gonna be in their home.
yeah,
so long.
that kind of changed, like had a shift in the world. So like, things are different, innit?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
facts.
but they were good days, man.
Yeah, definitely good days, man. And you've come a long way. Before we get into obviously come up, how you got into music, all that stuff, you got a new project out, Fumeverse. Solid project. Does always put a lot of time and effort into your projects. For the people who haven't heard it or just anyone, what's the project about? The creation of it, why Fumeverse? Obviously, we'll talk about your projects and the namings as we go along, because there's a lot of projects and the names mean a lot. Do you get what I'm saying?
100%.
But yeah, Fumeverse, man. Let people know.
So especially for the fans as well, for my fans, because I want to break this down, especially for independent artists, I want to let it be known, because I'm not gonna hide anything. The Fumeverse for me is an important project because for the last 2 years I'm independent, but I've been in a distribution agreement with a company I just didn't like.
Yeah.
And I felt like they was holding me back. So honestly, even to my fans, for the last 2 years, I ain't been doing what I felt like I could have done.
Okay.
Not purposefully, but there were certain things on the business side where it was like, it weren't making sense. So Fumeverse was my first project, fully independent, me kind of having that old feeling back again, where it's like, I'm doing it for the fun. There's no control. Like,
you have all your creative freedom, like, you know that.
100%. Even on the creative freedom side, like, man was always been independent, but just like working with a company that you don't really deal with is like, it can mess up the creativity. Do you know what I mean? Like, it could even mess up your mood, so that can affect the music. So the Fumeverse for me is like my first project back. Even though the fans might not know it, for me it's like my first project back, and it was like, being independent, I put bread into everything. So for me, it was important that 2024, like you said, everything's elevated. And this is the first time I feel like I'm coming back since everything's elevated. And I just feel like I needed to up my production levels. I needed to show people, because especially when you're independent as well, when you got visions, bro, and you ain't got a label giving you marketing budgets and it's coming out of your pocket, you kind of sometimes have to hold back on your vision.
Yeah, facts. It's just naturally you're always gonna think big, but then when it comes down to really how much these big things cost, you're just like,
it doesn't make sense, you know what I mean? So that was the first time where I felt like, you know what, let me actually try the best to invest in my production as well as just dropping music, you know what I mean? And yeah, I think like the Fumeverse just sums up me, my career, transitioning from just a UK artist in South London to kind of going global, taking over the universe. Like, that's my thing, innit? So yeah, that's the Fumeverse in a nutshell.
I feel like you're definitely right with like upping your production. Obviously, observing, listening, and seeing visually, I definitely felt like you had a lot of fun with creating this project,
100%.
especially the videos. For me, like
100%.
watching the videos, I'm like, not crazy different, as in like you always had ideas and thoughts, but I can see you really invested and wanted to give a good product
100%.
and show that you really had some thought about it.
100%.
Yeah, man, I enjoyed it. I feel like in your music, you've definitely been open and transparent. But something that felt different from me, obviously we spoke, was My Story, and I heard that and I was like, rah, like this is not a side of Fume I've never heard, but
something different.
But it's something like, it's very heartfelt. Do you get what I'm saying? Which is like
100%.
especially coming where we come from, it's like you don't want to be so open and so emotionally free with like how you're feeling and like what you're going through.
You know what it is? I've always been against the grapevine, bro. So it's like, even on my come up, choosing the path and choosing the sound I wanted to do, it was because no one was doing it. So I felt like, let me do this lane. So with My Story, I just feel like right now we're in a time with noise and garbage. I'll be honest, like clout selling, innit? And for me, I always don't play the game. Do you know what I mean? I always do the opposite, even not purposefully, but like I just make pure music. So My Story is my story. Literally, I can't even tell you anything other than that is my story. It's about me growing up, living in domestic violence with my family. Like, what the track is what it is. It's my story. It's not like I'm telling you what's about a song and a vision I had and I had a mood, and it's literally my story, innit? And I think for artists, if you're making pure music, then you should have like no expectations, because it's generally just I'm letting out pain that needs to be let out. So yeah, that's my story for me.
Yeah, and I enjoyed that. Obviously, seeing how you obviously told that story, how it was going on, and like the last part of it was really felt very real. This is when you spoke about your nan and all that stuff. It was like I felt it so much because you speak about family and certain parts in your music as time goes on. And yeah, it just felt like, yeah, you really wanted to, you just want to do people proud. You want to show, let your family be happy about young Fume being this
100%.
creative. On the project as well, you linked up with Coach Cheese, Ours, City Boy. Talk about meeting Coach Cheese, working with Coach Cheese, Ours as well. These are all three amazing artists.
Yeah, so Coach Chaz,
Coach Cheese, yeah.
whatever.
Sorry if I butchered your name, bro. I know you might see this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, so Coach Chaz, I'll keep it real. I didn't actually link up with him, but it's all off the grapevine of going back to earlier what I said, me building a global name for myself. And even if, so for example, I just hit Coach Chaz. I just hit him off the rip. Like, yo, bro, I mess with your music. Let's get something in. And obviously basing it off him probably most viewing me going on YouTube, taking me in, seeing what I'm working with, and he's like, let's do it. Straight like that. He sent the like verse back probably most in a day, bro.
And I know you got mutuals as well, obviously House of Furios.
And there was mutuals there, so it kind of probably most added to, all right, let me work with, bro. But obviously that was something that just came like literally within a message. 2 days later, song, when you come London, link up. It just went like that, bro. And ours, like, I hit ours. I want to say big up ours. I feel like now I feel like a vet in the game, bro. So you know what I mean, man. Especially as I'm growing, there's like younger artists in the game right now, and it's like ours for me stands up, and where he's someone that I feel like makes pure music as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, shout out to ours and City Boy. That's another guy I want to shout out. And I don't know, for those that haven't listened, go to the Fumeverse and listen to the song with City Boy. He reminds me of myself, so it was like, yeah, I have to work with, bro. And check out City Boy for those that don't know.
So yeah, man, that's Fumeverse in a nutshell. Taking the project, check it out. But I want to take it back now and really start from obviously the time when I was first introduced to you, give people a better understanding of who you are, your come up.
That would be funny to know. How was you introduced to me?
I'll be real.
Before the show.
It was way before the show. It was just UK, bro. I'm tapped in. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in my bedroom listening to Fuck Frank, John Terry. I'm like, who's this young Fume? We were so peak. Do you know what I'm saying? Then you're from South, so it's you know already what South is like. It's like, it's so big, but everyone knows everyone.
100%.
Or everyone will have heard of everyone, especially at the time where it's like with either what they're doing on road or the music. Especially at that time where it's like artists, we were coming out of a stage where it was like more just gang music, bro.
And I feel like it was a lot of South.
Yeah.
Not to put anything against any other ends, but at that period of time, it was like bare South.
Yeah, bare
music.
And you know what it is? I feel like as well, all the other areas for me when I'm hearing it, it was more grime.
Yeah,
Like
rap hadn't.
Like I found out about Skep and like the only artist I would say that I clocked onto very early on in that grime space, maybe it started with like Gets, D Double. But I found out about bare artists late and in their own ways. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like being in South, it was like I heard about Sneakbo before
Bear Man.
Bear Man. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? I heard about Gigs before Bear Man. I remember downloading Giggs's track, Walking a Park and Talking the Hardest on LimeWire, bro.
Yeah.
In a room, in like, you know, the rec room in school. You go at lunch, you can go in the room, use the computers and
yeah.
In one of those rooms when it first came, I'm like, what song is this that they're playing on their Sony Ericsson in the playground? I need it.
Bo and them man used to drop and you used to think it was the mad beefs and
do you get what I'm saying? And you know what's crazy? For me, I used to find out about music on the bus to school. Because there'll always be one you on the bus at the back of the bus playing music and you're just hearing bare tunes and I'm like, what's this? Do you get what I'm saying? So that's how I would say I was introduced to Young Fume that early on. And then in that time, I was on my journey of I am next, doing shows. I want to see more artists perform because what I saw at that time was there was no YouTube channels showing artist performances. And like, but if I go to America, I'm seeing all the artist performances. There was no one really doing shows unless you're popping and doing uni parties. You're not really doing shows in the ends.
Not no underground stuff.
Do you get what I'm saying? There was no underground scene like in the US at the time. Artists are just performing. Do you get what I'm saying?
Fact.
So yeah, South London, Young Fume. But I obviously wanted to touch on your come up. That moment in time, very early on, when did you start releasing music, the ecosystem and your sound, how it's developed from obviously rap into the melodic stuff as well. You can check the No Jumper I done with Fume as well. That will visually break things down. But yeah.
So I mean, starting from a very young age, like funny enough, I was on the bus, like you were saying, with the man them on the back of the bus, just freestyling for fun. Then my brother had like a studio and he was like the engineer and all his boys used to come around and make songs. And that's kind of what got me into music. And obviously fast forward, it kind of turned into like, for fun, the man then would just put on a song, get a cameraman around, like invite him to the end and just say, film something.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, you could go on YouTube now and you will see loads of freestyles of me when I was like 13, 14, just rapping. And at the time, there was no scene or nothing. This is just genuine for fun.
It was just like, if you had a talent and you rapped, it was just bars.
Yeah, just
it wasn't
straight
songs. It was
just bars, bro. No songs. You're just rapping
Yeah.
and you're throwing it on YouTube. And obviously, I started building like you said, a little South London, or at least a Croydon in my head, a Croydon like Mitcham, Fulton Heath, like Norbury, Buzz.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I think obviously Link Up TV kind of started flourishing. And then I put a few songs on Link Up TV. Shout out Future as well. I always have to say he's my goat, innit? I remember when I was young, I was just doing UK rap like everyone else was. Just on that gigs kind of sneak bold wave, you know what I mean? And obviously, I remember making one song because I like Future, and I was like, let me try this, but mix it in with like my thing. And then I made a song called Cut You Off. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
That was my first auto-tune song, and obviously people were like, bro, this is sounding mad. So that kind of opened up the doors for the melodic sound. So by the time Link Up TV come, I was already doing like the melodic mix.
Yeah. And the time frame of that is like what, 2010?
From what? The freestyles to Link Up TV, yeah. So the freestyles I would say is like 2012.
Yeah.
2012, 2013, I was doing freestyles probably most up until like 2016. That's when I hit Link Up TV. And at first I wasn't really getting love. People were like, what's this auto-tune music, bro? This is mad. Like, what are you doing, bro? This is crazy. And I remember it vividly like yesterday, bro. Ami Weed Forest was the first one because I was hitting them weak.
Yeah. And the thing is, I'll be real, I remember playing this to people and they didn't get it.
Yeah, no.
And at the time, Future dropped that project where he's on, there's a project and the front cover is him on the moon. I don't remember if it, but he's got peak songs. But I remember playing Future at that time to friends and they were like, bro, what's Future, bro? What's this?
They didn't even get that.
Remember, these lot are really in like Lil Wayne era. Like, you start listening to Wayne.
Old school.
So like, sonically different space. Obviously, Wayne's doing certain things, but not Future. You get what I'm saying? Auto-tune, whatever it is. So I remember playing your songs and Future songs at that time, and I'm just fucking with it, like, this is new. Like, what's this new
down? Yeah, no,
you get what I'm saying?
So people didn't get it, bro. And then, yeah, what was I saying? Ami Weed Forest obviously dropped it, and people were finally like, raw, this is kind of hard. And then from then, hit them track after track, started building a little fan base. And that's kind of when I went on to meeting you.
Yeah.
I mean, them times there, you didn't really know what was good, innit? So from I was getting views on YouTube, I'm saying, all right, this is something. So let's just try and put on a show. I'm looking at Stormzy's, I'm looking at the Creps and Conan's back then, and I'm like, well, I ain't with a label or nothing, but let's just try something, you know what I'm saying?
And I think at that time you were witnessing the impact that these songs are having because people are showing the interest of booking. Because that's like, this time is like 2016, you're right, Never Me is another song that was making noise.
Never Me, Ami Weed Forest, side thing.
Exactly. The full project. Like, these are the songs.
Well, no, let me even break it down because I always forget this, and I think it's so important because I always follow the method of a real artist, bro. Like, my whole thing is, when I came into the game from literally 14 years of age, bro, is I'm gonna drop an album. I'm not on this just drop it. I'm doing my thing properly. I'm gonna drop albums, and then I'm gonna make sure of every single one of those albums I've got a hit. That was my goal.
Okay.
Noughts and Crosses one that had, and correct me if I'm wrong as well.
Ami Weed Forest, Never Me, then
Noughts and Crosses
2. You had Side Things, Don Terry, Fuck Frank, Decline.
Then Noughts and Crosses 3, Watch Me Flex. That was the big one off there. Then Noughts and Crosses 4, obviously everybody knows about Noughts and Crosses 4. So for me, my whole thing was, I'm going to build an album and I'm going to continue to promote this album and build like a legacy for myself. And I'm not done with the album. Like, Noughts and Crosses 5 coming soon, but it's the right time for it. And yeah, just going back to that, it was important that like every single time I dropped a project, it had to have a smash on there. And it just kept elevating as I dropped that project. So for the fans, they might not see it like that, but that's actually what happened. Like every Noughts and Crosses project, I dropped maybe one every year.
Yeah.
And on that project was like a bigger elevation, a bigger feature. My movement was getting bigger each time.
And I agree with that. Watching the progress of that, I first-handedly seen it, as well as the fans have as well, based on the shows. Like, I remember, if we fast forward, Noughts and Crosses 1's out, that headline show, which we'll talk about, you had these songs hitting, and I remember Watch Me Flex just came out. Watch Me
That
Flex,
was like
and you just came out like 3-4 days ago before, and everyone knew it. And it was like everything was bubbling. So I remember when you performed this, and the footage is there because I recorded the whole show.
Yeah, I remember that.
Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like I remember vividly every hit, and then when you did Watch Me Flex, and you were like, there's another project, I was like, yeah, this guy, he has an understanding, he knows what he's doing. What would you say maybe gave you that thought process or inspired you to like follow that formula of every project is there, an artist is there? Where would you say that idea is or concept?
Just being a fan of rap from young.
Okay.
Like, I've always been a fan of rap. 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Ja Rule.
Yeah.
Like, just back in the days, I've always known that albums, even my sister used to buy albums, whether it was Beyonce's album or something, back when there was albums. So, like, I've always had that vision of just, I want to release a project. That just came naturally, to be honest, bro. I think it's important that you like release a project because it shows you as an artist as well.
It's like a chapter of your book.
Yeah, and it shows I just feel like I'm versatile, so I can't give you enough of me with just one song.
Yeah.
You need to hear a whole project and be like, no, this guy can show you this, and understand that, my man's hard.
You know, fire. The headline show. Obviously we mentioned it a couple times. At that headline show, you obviously brought out Central C. He opened up for you. You had House of Pharaohs open up for you. And you brought out Nate Smalls as a special guest. Obviously, you had the guys there as well with you at the time. Your relationships with those artists obviously is developed with time, etc. But talk about meeting them, how you guys came to play. Obviously, House of Pharaohs at the time were in a whole nother space doing their thing. Central C at the time was doing his thing as well in a whole nother space. And so was Nate Smalls. So those three people I feel like are also very important because Central C doing big things now. Nate Smalls doing big things. House of Pharaohs been doing
everyone kind of.
So yeah, man. Just talk about your relationship and how you met those three guys.
I mean, obviously, big up HO now. They're my guys now. But I remember, I swear, at first, HO came through you with the headline.
So obviously, my relationship with House of Pharaohs is I knew a lot of them, different places, different times. I felt like they had the energy that I remember you telling me.
I remember you telling me, bro, there's these I'm telling you, they're lit. And at the time, I'm like, bro, I've never done a show. Like, of course, I want less. And I remember you sending me a video of them, and I'm like, nah, they're shut. Because they was doing a show here before I even done a show, bro. And they were shutting down the show. So I'm like, yeah, I like these youths. And obviously, when they came, that's how I met HO. Sench, like, man's always kind of known Sench because, like, he's been rapping from when I was rapping. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So same as Nath, like I'll start with Nath and then I'll go on to Sench, innit? So Nath, at the time coming up, there was no one doing auto-tune music and it was only me and Nath. So at the time, man would come up to me like, raw, well, have you seen Nath Smalls? I just kept hearing it. So I'm like, let me watch, bro, innit? And obviously I watched him, I'm like, he's hard. Then funny enough, we kept getting booked for these small shows like you're talking about. Like, I kept going to these small shows and they were just booking me and Nath, innit? So obviously, naturally, you see him, bro, all the time and we're connecting more and more, and we just kind of built that relationship. And I think Sense just came through social media, but like, we kind of connected. He had a song back then called Wake Me Up, like an auto-tune thing. It kind of took off for like that era. Done a remix for him, and then off of that, the relationship was there. Then he came to that headline show, and I think fast forward, there was another one.
I think he did his own one as well.
no, his thing, I came out and said,
I was like,
with
Colours
my
Hop,
flow.
and I was
Yeah,
there, I
yeah,
remember.
yeah. So it's like, yeah, bro. And even shout out Central as well, innit? Because I've seen bro put in work and no one weren't really looking for him, innit?
Yeah.
And it kind of even motivates a man to be like, yo, bro, don't watch anything, because at the end of the day, anything can happen, innit? And especially when you're independent, you can't even focus on the smoke and mirrors, bro, because it's just you. So yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah, no, definitely big ups to Nave Small, Central C, House of Pharaohs, man. I think for me, obviously watching it and being someone who was working on the show, for me it was a moment because I felt like the scene was developing and I was first-handedly witnessing it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like seeing Nave Smalls has come up. I've been following Nave Smalls as long as I've been most probably following you. I feel like I found out about you a lot earlier, and obviously you're in proximity, South London. But then to see you too, I was like, wow, like what is this sound? Like where is this going? The same as House of Pharaohs, hearing those lot very early on and seeing the energy is like we were all on the same time, and I was an artist, but
100%.
I understood it very early on, and
100%.
I just wanted to see it develop because it was so raw, unique, and like I just feel like the feeling was there was a different kind of feeling that I don't think people experience unless they was into grind at that time, especially the energy like in performance wise, because at that time
facts.
UK shows is just
So mad.
it'll be either rappers, but the grind shows is going off, but then real like auto-tune rap shows that I was like turning up.
Yeah,
It was new. Like House of Pharaohs, I would say were the first artists I've ever seen, or were first artists to be crowd surfing in this hip hop space in the
Yeah,
UK.
yeah, no.
Do you know what I'm saying? Throwing water came from us lot. Do you get what I'm
No,
saying?
fact.
I remember throwing 2 liter bottles of water at your headline show.
Man always knows you for throwing water.
Do you get what I'm saying? So to see that development, and I think just the inspirations that we've taken in at that time definitely helped like mold this space we're in.
100%. 100%. Like the scene's grown, innit? And it's like everyone plays their part. But like you're saying, like those things are the things I said it. I might have said it in another interview, but like you can't knock history, innit?
Yeah.
See, that's why my thing's so like people respect my thing so much, because you could never wipe away history, bro. You can wipe away a moment, but you can't wipe away history. So it's like those moments are history, innit?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
big facts. And I would say 100%, no one could say Young Fume is not one of the pioneers of this sound.
Yeah, no.
Like everyone that is flourishing from or taken from, because I would say, and I've used this term wisely because a lot of people, there's a lot of artists who have had these moments, but you were the sacrificial lamb. You were one of the sacrificial lambs who came in the game, trying something new, took the stick and opened doors for people to be able to
Thrive off it.
not even just thrive, but develop, grow, become something. Because without pioneers, without these people, these moments might come later. Do you get what I'm saying?
100%.
I would say fast forward, so we're like in like 2017, we've gone from like 2010, 2017, Noughts and Crosses Freeze Out, you dropped Watch Me Flex, you've had like big cosigns, remixes at that moment. Because I remember when I found the video, and this is after the headline show, I was excited, I was happy for you. There's like Ty Dolla $ign, Wizkid, Tiny Temper. And I was like, bro, like headline shows happen, Watch Me Flex, the remix, like where did this come from?
That was mad.
Let people know about that moment, how far that time, and like the importance of it. Because for me, 2017 was a time where I don't think much US acts are taking in artists, or acts in these spaces are taking in artists of your capacity and then being at their capacity. You got Wizkid. Well, Wizkid's a big Afrobeats artist. Different space. You got Ty Dolla $ign, an amazing artist. Different space.
It was mad.
Tiny Temper.
Yeah, no, it was crazy, bro. It was crazy. For me, that was like, and I'll break it down as well so you understand more of it. But that was like a big moment in my career. I think that's kind of what made me where I am today. So I woke up on a normal day, like you're saying. I think it was even my birthday, bro. So I was feeling the energies. I say it's my birthday, you know. I woke up
after the headline.
After the headline on my birthday, I woke up, I went on Twitter. I've just seen Wizkid I'm seeing bare tweets for Watch Me Flex, bare tweets. And I'm just seeing a video of Wizkid and Ty Dolla in the studio just flexing, but they're playing the tune in the studio to Watch Me Flex.
Yeah.
But a remix thing, I don't even know how they chopped it or anything, you get me? So I'm going mad. I'm saying, nah, this is, cause I've always said in my head, yeah, I want to transcend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm saying, no, this is mad. This is crazy. So, and this is a good thing for like anyone just chasing their dreams. Like I took a bet, bro. So they both obviously follow me back on Twitter. And back then, if someone follows you on Twitter, you can obviously hit them.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm like 17. You know what I mean? Man ain't got that much peas. Hit them both up like, I'm going to be in LA next week. I'm not going to be in LA next week. But I know of the grapevine, I need to link, man, innit? Yeah. Like, man just remixed my song. I need to link, man. And with the street mentality, I knew that you need to be with man to build a connection.
Yeah, no, 100%.
There's no building a connection from the internet. It don't work like that. So I told them I'm going to be in LA. I wasn't going to be in LA, but they both was like, yeah, bet. Like, hit me when you're here, man. Let me know, bro. Try and know that. As soon as they said they're going to link, man managed to get to LA. First ever time in LA. I was like 17. Me and my boy flew out there.
Yeah.
And that's what opened up my eyes. Because I never really left the country.
Yeah.
And man's in LA.
And you're coming from South London.
South London.
You're in LA. Like,
it was mad.
It's crazy.
And I'll tell you another mad story. So I've gone LA, bro. While I'm cool, I've gone there with Dummy. For those that don't know, at the time he was Tiny Temper's manager.
He was
and
Urban London.
Yeah, he was kind of managing Wizkid at the time. So Wizkid had like a listening party to his album. He had that track called One Dance. Remember with Drake?
Yeah.
So he was going LA to do a promo run for that.
Yeah.
So he's inviting me to this listening party. Gone there, like he said, I'm coming from the trenches, South London. Man's in Hollywood at a listening party with all these DJs like DJ Envy and all these mad DJs. Yeah. Obviously, I out of respect, I know that there's no patterning at a listening party.
Yeah.
So obviously, I just waited till after the listening party. Me and Wiz kind of chopped it like a humble person. And then later on that day, like he gave me Ty's number, spoke to Ty, linked him the following day, and just kind of got to see what it was like. Just even being with them, like Ty Dolla $ign pulled up when it's Porsche. I'm saying, yeah, this is mad.
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy. I couldn't even take it in. And another crazy thing that blew my mind, bro, a fan of mine pulled up on me on my hotel. Like, obviously back then I'm snapping.
Like you're outside.
We're working on budgets back then. So like even the hotel we was in, it was like a
just like a travel lodge
type travel lodge, little small thing, you know what I mean? And obviously I've snapped the sign of the spot, and the fan, he must have seen the sign or whatever. Bro, he's pulled up. I'm smoking a blunt or whatever. Hey, yo, film. I kid you not, I was mind blown, bro, because I'm like, this can't be real.
Because you would really only have those or see those moments with like gone artists.
Yeah, because it's not like at the time, man had crazy millions of views.
No, you were still like you were
still coming up.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, so that was the first insight to like my thing's really.
Because just to give like an idea of his size of an artist at that time, he's sold out a 400 cap room. So you're like that's at your hometown in London. So for you to go LA 17 and a fan pull up on you is a very big deal. Do you know what I'm saying?
It was mad. It was just like you said, I never even left the country that much. That was my first big flight. So to even see that I had a fan out there was mad. But yeah, no, shout out Wiz and Ty. Like that brought me to another level, and that made me say, you know what? I'm coming back to the States. This is lit. And that's what changed my mind. And obviously, you know what came from that. But I started like just putting my mind on the States.
Yeah, no, facts. I feel like after that moment, and in that time, you also released Kick Down Doors with Abra. At the time, Abra's doing his thing, but I feel like that's a big moment because also the link ups with the areas wasn't a big thing. So for Young Fume to link up with Abra, and you're both like, Abra's had that huge hit coming in the game, and you two have linked up, kicked down doors. Talk about that link up, how you guys met, because I feel like for people who don't know, that's a big moment, big artists, both of you at the time.
Yeah, no, so that's mad. Shout out Abs, man. He's my guy. Humble as well. So, and it's another mad story for people that don't know, but I'm gonna speak on here, man. It's truth. And
Yeah.
Abs, he will tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
Funny enough, you know the New Gen show.
Yeah.
So I was at a New Gen show, and what's Abracadabra's first song, the big tune, man? His big
idiot.
yeah, easy. Yeah. Obviously, he was influenced off my tune, innit?
Yeah.
I had a tune called Paranoid. And even in the song, he's like Young Fume, I kick down doors with the big sticks. Like, where's the big bits now? Like, he mentions
Did the
flow, but obviously that tune, like, not his whole tune, but keeping it
there
a
was
buck.
a reference.
Not just the reference, the whole song. Like, if I play you Paranoid, it's an element of this was mad influence. And at the time, Crept and Conan, coming from Heath, it kind of probably most
shared your thing,
shared my thing, and it just.
And you know what it is as well? I really, at that time, people knew who Young Fume was.
Yeah, no, it wasn't probably most what.
It wasn't like people wouldn't have known like you were a big deal, and you still are a big deal.
No, because you know what it is, not a lot of people were making music back then, bro. So it's just like.
Yeah, having access to the studio, going to a studio was very hard as well.
Yeah, there weren't better artists. But no, obviously from that, like, his big song was, he showed man love as well. Like, especially in London, bro, you would think that I would butt, man, and man would be on a pride, ego, like, no, that's my, like, man fully said, bro, your thing's mad. Like, yeah, like, man was influenced. And from that day, we just had the relationship. And obviously, Kick Down Doors just made sense for, like, the reference, the lyric. It just made sense to do a song.
You know, facts. Fast forward 2018, you've dropped the Level Up project, Zaytoven, Young Nudie. Did that moment happen from your first experience in LA, or how did that come about, and how did you link up with Nudie? I remember you telling me I think when you met Nudie, it was a funny experience. It was another mad story, but if you can share with the viewers and everyone.
Yeah, so Zaytoven came about through a distribution company in New York. They obviously seen what I'd done, maybe through the WizKid stuff. I don't know, but they just hit me. At the time, my whole pitch was being a fan of Future.
Yeah.
Like, I want to work with Metro or Zay.
Yeah.
Like, as a diff, because they wanted to do a distribution deal with me just for an EP, innit?
Okay.
Just like an EP deal. So I'm saying, being an American distribution company, like, I want to work with there's a few producers I want to work with. And funny enough, they had Zay signed to their publishing.
Okay.
Like, the label that done the EP deal. So it was just, they said, yeah, we can
make it happen.
Make it happen. And obviously, like, I'm a realist, so it's just like, making it happen's one thing, but I want to connect with Zay properly. I don't just want beat sent over.
I really want to meet him, and
I want to go to the A. I want to experience Atlanta. I want to feel it. And then, yeah, shout out my boy Laddie Marbet. That's my guy, my brother for life.
Shout out Laddie, man.
Yeah, shout out my bro. At the time, he felt like the version of me, but in fashion.
Yeah.
So he was already in Atlanta making moves. Yeah. Like, he had Offset in his clothes, Future in his clothes.
I remember when these were coming in London, and I was seeing Laddie around him. Like, Migos have come to the UK early. They've done like pop-ups in XOYO. They've done their shows. And this is before, I think, just around Culture, when that first project dropped. So
yeah.
This is prime Migos, like,
literally.
Do you get what I'm saying?
And he had like you said, it was prime time Atlanta.
Yeah.
And obviously, bro was killing it. So he had the bare links over there. So I'm now in a stage where, cool, I'm doing an EP with Zaytoven. I've got no features though, but I want to make a smash EP. So I need an American feature. And obviously, through Laddie knowing Nudie, he kind of set it up. Like I paid him like $1,500. Now this is where the funny story came in, cause like man's in Atlanta now, and coming from London and where I come from, man's got street mentality, bro. So we're not stupid. So as we're in the studio, funny enough, I've done the session with Zay first. It was all kind of like, cause the studio I was working at, for those that don't know, it's like in Atlanta, this studio is prime time studio. Like Future goes there.
Okay.
All the big artists from the A go there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So Zaytoven was obviously working out of there, and Nudian that go there already. So it was kind of a thing like,
It's like, I get
just to make it all happen in one,
it's like a till yard.
basically,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
So after the Zay session, they pulled up. Now, obviously, Laddie knows Nudian that. So for me, it's gonna be a vibe. But his boy came in like, yeah, you got that 1,500. You just want to make sure everything's all right. But he's come in the studio and he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go outside. Straight away, man's thinking, what do you mean go outside the studio with man's bread? It don't work like that, bro. So,
Yeah.
and he's moving like, you lot kind of stay here, kind of.
Yeah.
So, and this is man's first time in the A as well. So I'm thinking, bro, you know how it goes. Just better not be a finesse, because man's not having it.
Yeah.
So man's gone outside with the U, and obviously it was all cool and that, but it was just a funny experience. And another funny experience was, as I've gone to link with Zay, I've it's loads of studios. So man's walked in one studio, bro, there's like 100 niggas. Like, but I'm looking around, man seen Jaquise.
Okay.
Brother's small. Obviously, man speaking like, no, I'm just here for my Zay session. When they heard I was from London, they kind of, they're all cool and that. It was yeah, they opened up a bit more and that. But America's just one of them places. If you're in the right places
At the right
times, you can
things
make
gonna happen,
yeah,
for real.
can happen.
No, I definitely agree that going Miami, LA, New York, big experiences for me where it's like what you think is so far away is not that far away if you're in the right place.
100%.
On that project you had JME.
Yeah, shout out.
Talk about how you guys linked up, different sounds coming together. But yeah.
Yeah, I think shout out JME, man. Proper humble, man. I mean, he's a UK legend, isn't it? So in my eyes, I think JME's a UK legend, and I feel like he's also someone that not overlooked or nothing, but like I can relate with JME. He's not the face of everything, but he's hard. You know what I mean? He's in his lane.
It's really about the music, not about anything else.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I think even that's why he wanted to work with me, because he's purely about music and not all the other stuff.
And also going against the grain, as you were saying earlier, going left, like the way JME's obviously delivering music, what he does, him being the kind of artist he is, the things he likes and enjoys. I would say if you was to think rapper or artist and then JME,
my whole thing was, imagine JME on a Zaytoven beat.
Yeah.
This already sounds mad. That was my whole thing, because I knew I had Zaytoven on the production. So it was like, yeah, I just wanted to hear that, to be honest, like something different.
Yeah. So yeah, the project came out, did what it needed to do. Fast forward, we're in 2018. You've been featured on Nines' Crop Circles project.
Yeah.
Nines, big boy in the game. I know Nines already. Nina.
Yeah.
How did that song come about? How did he reach out to you? Did you reach out to him?
Yeah.
Was it like you met before music or?
No, so funny enough, a lot of Nines' young G's was playing, man.
Okay.
Because like Nines is older than man, and he's probably most in his own world kind of thing. Like you can see from his block, they're all kind of entwined with each other. So what he told me was bare of his young G's were playing, man. And I think he saw that some funny skit of man in like a shop.
Yeah, I've seen it as well.
Everyone's kind of probably most seen that, bro, when man's going mad on the keeper, and he was like, yeah, that was funny when I saw that. So yeah, he kind of hit man up for the song.
Did you know SL and Tiggs the Author are gonna be on it?
Nah, I didn't know them, man. So that was kind of a surprise. Okay. We weren't all in the studio together, and like I just went and buck Nines, did my thing, and yeah, like it turned out to be a mad smash. So shout out Nines.
And that was around December that dropped. Following up from that, you dropped Secrets, 2018, Little Durk. And yeah, I would say for me, proud moment of a fan of Young Fume.
Yeah.
And I think it was a big proud moment and a surprise for a lot of people in the UK, fans. And that time, I would say 2018, America really was taking in the UK. The Plug was out here doing his collabs. I think Broken Homes dropped at that time. The Chip, Roddy Rich, Young Bane tracks dropped at that time. And obviously, at Wireless, a lot of artists have come out. But obviously, you followed up with Delivering Secrets. Talk about the process of the creation of that song, how you met Durk.
Funny enough, it goes back to the Zaytoven session. So when I first went to the A to work with Zaytoven, in that same studio, Park Hill was like at the office kind of front desk as I walked in, and he's gone, Fume. Same thing again, I'm baffed. I'm like, but this time I'm saying, this guy kind of sounds British though.
Yeah.
But you're looking like you work out here, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're moving like
you're one of them.
Yeah, I like this kind of thing. I'm saying, well, go on, bro. He's like, yeah, man, it's from Palace, bro. Like, I've been banging your thing. You know what I mean? From young, man, I respect your thing. It's mad. What are you doing out here?
Yeah.
And then I was like, obviously,
And you're in the A at this time as well.
Yeah, I'm in the A. I'm going to work with Zaytoven. That's solely what I'm out there for. Nothing to do with Durk.
Yeah.
And this is why I say, shout out Park, like how things
just happen
even over time. Because that was then, like I said, he was probably didn't even know Durk then when I bucked him. He was just working in and around that studio.
Okay.
All the artists were going to.
Okay.
So, obviously through knowing the UK youths out in Atlanta, me and Park kind of became friends from that. I've come back to the UK. I'm doing my thing. He's still out in America, and he became Durk's engineer. Like through being in that studio,
just being in the right environment.
Being in the right environments, he became Durk's engineer. And obviously where he's been seeing me on my grind, and I would say shout out Park, because he does understand, like, I can see all the clout on the noise, but then I know what real music is.
And he puts out real music as well.
Yeah, no, he's hard, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's hard. So shout out Park. He obviously put Durk onto, man, and I don't know what he showed him, but he was like, yeah, I'm on it. Like, and the thing is, when I met Durk, same thing I said with the Zaytoven situation. Like, for me, I'm real, bro. I'm not on no, like, let's do a feature and it's just a feature. Like, if I want to work with you, hopefully I get the best relationship out of working with you, because that's how I want to do everything in life. I don't want it to be fake. And from meeting Durk, we just clicked musically, sonically, personality-wise. Like, he just vibes, man. Yeah. Could relate, innit? Like, man's out in the A on my own, bro. No team. Just me and a couple, man. No label. No management. Me.
Just following the dream.
Following my dream. So it's like, you can't not respect that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel,
especially coming where you come from, and I feel like he has definitely an understanding of that. Like, coming from a trench, coming from a place where it goes off so quick that you could not be here tomorrow. Like, just based on environment, to see you follow a dream and start from so early on and just take it to where it is now is inspiring.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
So that's how Secrets came about. And then from then, bro, man was just building. Like, there's been so many times people don't know that I've been in Durk sessions, just chilling, taking it in game, not even talking that much.
So would you say you've picked up any, like, skills, lessons you learned?
Just stay down. Just stay solid, bro. Like, musically, I feel like I'm my own musician, so I can't really pick up any musical knowledge.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm my own man in terms of music. I can get busy with anyone, bro. Even the biggest of the biggest. I get busy, bro. But in terms of just, like, how to move and just how to stay down, because I've seen Durk where he has today. And I've seen the things before, you know what I mean? No, I'm even talking about when I was with Durk in them studios.
Okay.
He weren't the Durk
he is
today.
Now. Okay.
Yeah. And I know he wanted that.
Yeah.
Off of the conversations that had been going on in these studio sessions and stuff. So, like, yeah, I learned a lot from bro, just to stay down and just how to handle certain things.
Yeah, man. I feel like definitely, like, when it comes down to hard work and, like, enjoying the journey and putting that time and effort into it, definitely similar. Do you get what I'm saying? As in, where he's come from Chicago, from going through what he's going through, having that hit early on, then going through whatever law situation he's gone through to now, like, definitely can see similarities. You get what I'm saying? I say following up from Secrets, you've obviously dropped Launch Across Crosses 4. You got a lot of features on there. You got Lancey, Young Ads, you got AJ Tracy as well. If you can like give a little bit of how you started working with them, because I remember being in Paris and you linked up with Lance, or you were meant to link up with Lance at that time.
Yeah, no, me and Lance linked a couple times.
Also quick, just a touch that I remembered. I remember when I went Rolling Loud, Miami, and I met Durk, and he was with his girl on, you know, them carts.
Yeah.
And I've seen him and be like, yo, Durk, man's from London. I see you fuck with Young Fume, that's my guy. He's like, yeah, shout out Young Fume. So I was like, I remember when I linked him and I saw
how his energy was.
Do you get what I'm saying? He's like, it was like, right, you're from London, but you know Fume. He's like, yeah. He's like, he reassured me that it's a genuine thing.
Yeah, no,
that just came to my mind literally just now.
Genuine, fam, and that's why I said it. I could hit Durk now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the relationship man's got with him. It's love.
Yeah. But yeah, Notes and Crosses 4, Lancey, AJ Tracy, Young Ads.
Yeah, so Lancey, can't remember where I first bucked him, but obviously when I saw his first single, I'm like, this is mad. He's different. Like,
and Lancey's one of those sacrificial lambs that I'll say that took the pick.
I mean, 100%.
Painted the way for a lot of people in the UK.
100%. So yeah, like Lancey. Funny enough, I even bucked Lancey one time in the A.
Okay.
Just on some
random shit.
Just, oh, you're out here. But yeah, shout out Lancey. Obviously, Ads from me coming up, he's always kind of shown man love. Do you know what I mean? So we had that song from way back kind of thing. And then Tracy, always been genuine. I went on tour with him. I supported him on tour. And like, it was a mad tour. You know my energy already, or you know what I would do as a support act. So just off that, we kind of built that relationship. And yeah, bro, like I said, I feel like even back then it was a different era in the UK music scene.
What do you mean?
Just like artists wanting to collab more. I feel like there needs to be more collaborations within the UK scene.
I think a lot more things was more genuine where we had to meet up. Whereas now it's like I can hit you on a DM and you can see it or not reply. But really, like, the internet wasn't as social the way it was.
Yeah.
Like, where now the internet is social media. Like, it's living up to that space where it's like social media, smoke and mirrors. Like, for you to have like 10, 20K, maybe it was a big deal. Do you get what I'm saying? Instagram was very new, so navigating it was different. Where when you meet someone in person, you click. Where now you're seeing someone before you're meeting them. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, fact.
So yeah.
No, yeah, that's how I met Tracy. And obviously that was, I feel like most of my features are off of the relationships, innit? So like, I don't just do features. If I got a feature, know that me and them have had a relationship and we've connected in some way.
Obviously, after that project, you've dropped another feature with Durk, but then you've dropped 3 different projects, moving away from the Noughts and Crosses theme. Briefly, if you can give people an insight to the reason of the name Noughts and Crosses and why you did that, and then we'll talk about those 3 projects. And then
so Noughts and Crosses, it was more like in life. The meaning for Noughts and Crosses is life. There's ups and downs. And originally I was gonna call it Snakes and Ladders, because obviously you know about Snakes and Ladders, you can get
of course
to the top and fall. But I think Wiley had a tape out at the time called Snakes and Ladders, so I was like, I can't call it Snakes and Ladders. But what's like a similar thing where it's like you feel like you can win, but you can just get egged out right at the end, like. And Noughts and Crosses, kind of, that's what stood out.
You've obviously followed that project with The Other Way, and that cover art, obviously the crossroad going against the grain. I feel like at that moment you've had a lot of ups and downs within that Noughts and Crosses saga, because obviously going through the releases of those projects, there was a lot of ups and downs, a lot of moments. Why did you want to make that project called The Other Way, and what inspired you to move away from the Noughts and Crosses saga?
No, for me, it wasn't moving away from the Noughts.
But okay, put it on pause and give them something different to.
Because so if you fast forward to what I said, I always feel like with my Noughts and Crosses, it's my next big chapter,
Okay.
and it has to feel right. I.e., that's why every Noughts and Crosses I've dropped, they've kind of hit, bro.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know
of
what I
course, of
mean?
course.
Like, cause I know that's my brand. That is my brand. It's like Lil Wayne's Carter.
Yeah.
It's like my baby. So it wasn't necessarily moving away from it. It was just, okay, Noughts and Crosses 4 is done, and I want to continue to drop music. And it's not about just dropping Noughts and Crosses 5 straight away. Let's drop some like fun projects. And what is my intake on the scene and where am I at with it now? And that's what the other way kind of represented. Like, I'm taking a different path.
Following up from that, you've dropped Now or Never. No features, just strip back Young Fume. Which I felt like was a good time at that moment because you really honed it in and you gave your fans and your core listeners, I think, a Fume that they wanted to hear as well. Whereas like before, you're obviously doing other things with sonically, musically, with features as well, and just giving them that old school Fume sound. Was that the reasoning, or was it another reason why?
Like I say, bro, I feel different, like, in terms of musically. If I make so much music, I just go through waves, and if I catch a wave, it's gonna sound like this. If I catch a wave, it's gonna sound like that. It's just more how I feel in that moment at the time. Do you know what I mean?
To wrap this up, well, your last two projects, you got the Come Up tape, Global in Volume 1, Europe, and Noughts and Crosses Volume 2, but it's like a sequel.
Yeah, that's kind of a sequel.
The Come Up, you had 410 on there, AM, and Javon.
Yeah.
How did you guys meet? How did you meet the 410 lot? How did you meet Javon as well, and that project, and then what end on those last two projects?
Yeah, so I've always been cool with them, man, just from being from like South.
Yeah.
Locally, man knows a couple, man. So that just came about naturally. And then Javon at the time, he had a few songs out that I really liked, you know what I mean? And he was different to me, he sings and stuff. So yeah, that's why I got him on the project.
And then global in Europe. Why global in Europe? Like, why that title? Is there more to come? Like global in Africa, global in
Yeah, it's funny that you say
Europe.
that's the plan. I mean, on the Global in Europe, there was only European features.
Yeah.
So that was just the first volume of the Global
Of the
series.
okay.
And that will come later, but you was bang on there. It's gonna be each.
I'm excited to see that, I can't lie.
Yeah.
What was the thought behind that? Like, why did you want to do it like that? Or what was the inspiration like? Obviously, I remember coming to a studio filming the No Jumper interview, and you're telling me I'm starting this collective label, Globalin, everything's in house. And I think at that moment you've tried to, or not tried to, but you've moved away from UK industry because you felt let down, as in like people were promising you the world, labels, booking agents, promoters, everyone. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just felt like a lot was said, but enough, like people didn't do what they said or lived up to what they said. So yeah, globalling.
Yeah, so I think the definition of globaling is, and I want to say this because I think it needs to be said, like, a lot of people say Fume's underrated, but it's like, I'm fully independent my whole career and I have no major behind me. And it's like, as a consumer, when you're looking at Fume and these other artists that have hundreds of thousands of pounds behind them and a machine, and then you got Fume here that's just dropping music, he's just dropping it. It might not be the same on a consumer level because I haven't got a machine behind me, and that doesn't mean any different. But just where we're at in life right now, people go with numbers, views, and I think back then I already clocked that wave early. That like, there's building a real fan base, and then there's a smoke and mirrors, and I think I knew that I wanted to be global with my music. I didn't want just a UK
purpose, so that you
not a UK purpose because I'm British, but it's like, I don't feel like my music should just be known here.
Yeah.
It should be known across the world, and I think that was why I had the global vision. It weren't necessarily like I felt the UK weren't giving me anything. It was more like through my experiences of the WizKid stuff, the Zaytoven opportunity that these things led me to go to America. It's not like man just sat here and said, you know what, man's going to America to pursue my rap dream. No, I always had that instinct, but I always said to myself, bro, and I'll put this on my mum's, I will never go to America until I need to.
Yeah.
And the first time I went to LA was off of
making something happen.
Well, off of man remixing my thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And from that day, the Zaytoven thing came and etc. etc. So I think, yeah, that was the global envision.
Noughts and Crosses Volume 2, Face, an artist from LA.
Yeah, Laurie.
She's crazy hard. Like, I checked out the rest of her music.
Mad.
I was like, whoa. Yeah. It's different hearing. Remember, I've come knowing young Fume from South London, breaking boundaries with the sound, and hearing you now with, I would say, like an R&B type, like Smokers vibe artist. How did you guys link?
I met her in A. I was living my boy I was living with in the A. He kind of was managing artists at the time, and I think he was managing her, not currently, but back. And then that's when I met her originally, and I said, yeah, she's cold, but she was from LA. So I went to LA for 3 months just to record an album. Like, this, for the fans, those 3 albums, they were just Global in Volume 1. I'll be honest.
What fillers?
Let's just get them out, because like I said in the beginning of my interview, I was in a little distribution.
Yeah, so you just needed
to get out, and I thought, let me go to LA and just bake off and take in the scene. And she was just an artist I worked with.
Fire. Face.
And then, yeah, shout out Quang, man, real humble guy. He hit man for a song, and then when we went to the studio, obviously we vibed, we connected, and then we just did like 1-for-1 kind of thing. But shout out Quang, proper guy.
Fire. And yeah, man, I feel like we're almost at that point, the end, but it's not the end. It's like, what's next? What's coming? We're in 2024. I'm excited to see what you got. You got your headline show coming up soon as well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be there.
Amazing. You just enough, yeah. Let me know though, like
100%. Because I felt like the last one, every headline show I've been to, because I've really been to every headline show.
Yeah.
And I've seen your development as an artist, as a performer, like conducting yourself with the crowd. You've always had like good energy from that first show. People can go check it, it's there. But I feel like you definitely developed more, took more thought into that performance element. And that last show was great for me to experience, see, and be at, because it showed me you never gave up. Because obviously there was a lot of people in the air saying, Fume's underrated, he needs more, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like you kept everything at home and like at close proximity, where you just kept tunnel vision and focused. And obviously we came out of COVID, things have changed, new artists have appeared, TikTok's here, so many different things is happening. And that headline show showed me that, like, as well. And I think the people that, there's loyal fans. Like, the fan base is loyal. Don't worry about the smoke and mirrors, as you were saying. Just focus on the fans. But headline shows coming up. Obviously, that last headline show was there. If you want to touch on it, speak on it as well. But yeah, man.
Yeah, no, like you were saying, for me, that was my first show since the pandemic. And obviously, seeing this new generation, TikTok, new artists, I hadn't done a show over 3 years prior to that. So I didn't really know what my fans were saying. And it was kind of like, it was a clarification for me. Like you said, that man's fan base is real. Man's here to stay, and it's just about building now, and you can't listen to everyone else.
Yeah, you can't listen to the noise. Yeah, man. So yeah, next headline show is here. And yeah, what's next, man? What projects? Obviously, there's Global in South Africa, Global in Africa, Global in Brazil.
Yeah, that's a vision to come. But obviously, I got the Fumeverse Deluxe coming soon. I'll just get ready for that. Obviously, for those that know about the Fumeverse, you will know that the Deluxe is gonna have like big vibes on it. And I just feel like I've got a few ideas for this year, EP wise, and I'll just kind of leave it as that, man.
Yeah. I say for me, I want to see you take more leaps of faith. Like,
when you say leaps of faith, talk like
I'd be like, just travel, bro.
Yeah.
Like, more leaps of faith for like, just like, I'm in this country, I'm shooting, I'm recording, I'm incorporating vibes.
It's crazy you say that, bro, because I was talking to my boy the other day, and
Yeah.
that's the forefront of my thing.
Yeah.
And obviously the pandemic just kind of shifted that for man a bit. But I think that's where I'm at now, bro. I just want to travel the world and go global, and that's a vision.
Right. So that's what I want to see, man. I feel like to see you in these environments, in these places, connecting, taking in the sonic, shooting in these environments. I remember coming studio with you, and it's just about it being unpredictable. Do you get what I'm saying? Obviously, at a moment in time where we're very much in London before, let's say 2018, 2019, we could only move up with what we had. We're young, coming up in the game, but I just feel like if everything is unpredictable, it's more exciting.
Yeah,
it's like, wow, like,
you know, 100%.
do you know what I'm saying? If I see you in Alaska or Brazil or the Sahara, or do you get what I'm saying? Like, and incorporating their sonics and their feet, their artists. For me, yeah, man, I want to see you in Canada, man. Obviously, you got your ties in Canada, your features, obviously, but I know that's definitely a space that have taken you in. But I feel that if you can hit those three things, just explore, create, and like just tap into where the fans are.
Yeah, no, that's the vision.
Can't go wrong, man.
That's the vision.
But yeah, man, you already know Mr. I Am Next, the I Am Next show. I'm with my boy, the guy, the man, Young Fume. That's your camera.
That my camera, yeah?
Yeah.
I Am Next. The boy Fume inside the building. Let's get it, man.
Remember, like, share, and subscribe. It's lit.